Hey everybody, it's Mr. Harvoth here in PC3's radio studio making a very rare on-air appearance, but I am joined by the resident hockey expert here at PC3, Matt Isley, and Matt has some hockey updates for us. Before we get into anything, just remember, Matt, we got a big show for you today. So, are you excited to be here?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
All right. So, Matt, let's get into the hockey talk right away since you are the expert around here. Every single day, you guys should see how PC3 operates. Matt comes in with a smile on his face and gives us the latest hockey news. So, Matt, let's go ahead and break down a game you're actually covering for our upcoming live shows here on PC3, which begin next week. Matt, what's going on in Tampa Bay with the Tampa Bay Lightning?
So, the Lightning just won 2 games in the midweek on Tuesday and Thursday. So the Lightning just won on Tuesday against the Senators, 4-3 is the final score, which they won. And they won Thursday, which they swept the Senators to wipe out the Senators win on Thursday, which the final score was 5-1. And that was a great win for Andrei Vasilevsky for the Lightning, who has now 23 wins.
All right, so Matt, Tampa Bay is making some waves here in the NHL as we get towards the playoffs are coming up in the springtime. So tell us a little bit about the Tampa Bay Lightning, some of the key players, and some of the moments that really caught your eye during that game.
Yeah, so I figure Tampa Bay's been one of these players a lot. I figured some of these players might have catch my eye. Speaking of the Four Nations face-off, we've got Jake Gensel, who will be on Team USA, which he will be playing for USA. Hagel will be on Canada, along with Braden Point, is another player who's currently on the Lightning team, but will now be assigned to the Four Nations face-off on Canada's roster. Another one we have is Victor Hedman, who's on Team Sweden. Then I believe we have Vasilevsky, who's the current goaltender for the Lightning. So I figured those are the players that we all know.
All right, so let me ask you a question, Matt. When we're talking about Team Sweden and Team Canada and Team USA, what are you referring to? Because is the All-Star game going to look a little bit differently this year, or are they keeping the same format? Tell me about it.
So I figure, this is going to be kind of a different thing, This will be actually going to be some kind of, new game. They're going to be replacing the All-Star game called the Four Nations Face-Off. It's going to be coming on February as of this month. The first games will be played at the Bell Center in Montreal, Canada.
Montreal, Quebec, Canada, right?
Yes.
Got to name the province. My good friend Jeff would get real mad at you if you didn't say the province. So we're talking about Montreal, Quebec, Canada, right?
Yeah.
Home of the Canadians.
Yes.
Okay.
And that will be inside the Bell Center. And the second game will be at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, which will be in the USA. Will be at TD Garden, home of the Bruins. So this will be on the Four Nations face-off. And speaking of the Four Nations face-off, they are selling new merchandise along with Team Finland, Sweden, Canada, and USA. They're selling all the merchandise as well. And you can check it out through the Florida Panthers team shop, or you can visit through HockeyAuthentic.com. Is where you can purchase, those jerseys for the upcoming Four Nations face-off season. You can pre-order it for it, so that's why.
That sounds like some really, really cool merch, Matt. Are you going to be purchasing any Team USA gear to represent your home country?
Oh yeah, because I'm going to go with my boy Matt Tkachuk.
All right. So the Four Nations face-off coming up, and, of course, Tampa Bay, the Lightning moving up in the NHL standings. Matt, I understand we have a lot of news on the NHL standings. You're going to update on some of the teams that are looking hot and some of the teams that aren't so hot as we head into the springtime where we get ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs. So don't touch that dial. Don't go away. Stay tuned right here on Live 365 PC3 Radio and on YouTube, because we're going to listen to some hot music selected by our producer Emerson, and we will be right back with those NHL teams to watch. And welcome back to Hockey Talk. That was Glad You Came by The Wanted here on PC3 Radio. Those of you on YouTube, make sure you go over to Live 365 so you can check out the music that goes along with our shows here on PC3 Radio. Back here joined by Matt Isley with our weekly NHL hockey update here on PC3 Radio and our PC3 Media YouTube channel. Now, Matt, before we went to the break, we kind of talked about some of those teams that are hot and not so hot leading into the springtime because it's already February. Cannot believe it's February already. It's just crazy, but we're almost there. It's getting close. We tell the students all the time that we've only got 4 months left of the school year, and then seniors will be moving on. But Matt Isley's one that'll be coming back next year for more hockey talk. So, Matt, let's get right to the news. Tell me which teams are leading those NHL standings and who we should look for going into playoff mode this spring.
Yeah, I figured. So that is kind of the thing, So right now, through the Lightning app I have on my phone, the Florida Panthers are really hot right now, and they have 33 wins right now, and they just played 56 games with their alternate captain, number 19, Matthew Tkachuk, which he's leading all defensemen and forwards along with the team right now. They're in first in the Atlantic Division.
Now, Matt, let me ask you a question here. Florida is the defending Stanley Cup champions, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And who did they beat last year to win that cup? Because I remember it was an exciting series. Florida was up 3-0, and then it went to a Game 7. What happened in that series?
Florida beat Edmonton Oilers. I believe that was maybe it was overtime, depending on how long it was, depending on that the outcome of the actual game was. But I figured it was kind of an exciting game, but it was really long to watch. But still,
nothing beats a 7-game series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Florida probably doesn't want to get back to that point, but they're hot this year, so maybe they can avoid taking it to 7 games if they have a 3-0 lead. But hey, we're still waiting for a Canadian team to win that cup. Who else is hot, Matt?
In second place in the Atlantic Division, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs.
There's your Canadian team. How are they doing this year?
They're doing good. Now, one thing I noticed was I believe John Tavares used to be the captain for Toronto, but they moved on and handed somebody else the captain patch, and now it's been given to Austin Matthews for the Maple Leafs for Toronto.
All right. Now, Matt, do you think the Maple Leafs have enough steam in them and have enough key players to make a run this year in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
Yes, I figured they do. So that is the question that we answered. So I figured the answer is yes. So that is probably why.
All right. I'm holding you to that, Matt. Right here on Hockey Talk. You heard it on PC3 Radio. Matt Isley says this could possibly be a year for the Maple Leafs. Give me a couple other teams, Matt. We're running up against the clock. Who else we got?
We got the Buffalo Sabres. We also got the Detroit Red Wings.
Ooh, back in the action
with Patrick Kane, DeBrincat, and of course, I believe it was. I believe also Alex DeBrincat is one of the players. But yeah, I figured.
Do you think the addition of Patrick Kane has really helped the Red Wings this season? I mean, he is a legend here in Chicago.
Yeah, I figured he's great, and he's a legend from Chicago, along with New York, and now he's currently in Detroit. So, yeah, he's really good. So, and also what's high is the Lightning. They just bounced in the third place in the Atlantic Division. They just bounced after 2 wins over the Senators, who are in 4th.
All right. So, Matt, let's go over to some other conferences. We got about 2 minutes here left on Hockey Talk. Give me some more teams that you want to keep an eye on as we round out the NHL regular season here.
All right, so for Metropolitan, we have the Washington Capitals. They are in first in Metropolitan. For Pacific, the Oilers are leading in first. In Central, Winnipeg is leading in first for Central, so that's, kind of the thing is, so that is kind of a thing. But yeah, I gotta tell you, the Golden Knights did win in 2023, but I gotta tell you, they're in second right now.
All right. So We got about 2 minutes left here on Hockey Talk. Matt, I want you to give me the name of one player. Could be on any team, any division throughout the league that we hockey fans should keep an eye on as the season starts to wind down.
One of the players for the team that we talked about earlier, I got to tell you, they're in third right now. It's the Lightning, and I got to tell you, my player I'm going to watch for has to be Braden Point.
Oh, okay. All right. And why should we watch out for him?
Because he is one of the best players, and he's got a really good shooting percentage. He does a real nice job of blocking the shots, and he's also good at scoring as well, while scoring wristers and slappers as well, including one-timers.
All right, well, there is Matt Isley's player to watch. We're up against the clock right now. And, Matt, get out of the way from the camera because we got to sign off right here on Hockey Talk. Matt's going to catch the school bus because we went right up against the time. But that's all the time we have this week for Hockey Talk. I'm Mr. Harvoth. Hope to be back next week with Matt with more NHL updates.